Hi, and welcome to Rabbit Moon Tarot. My name is Angel, and I'll be doing a collective read today. Now, if you've been here before, you know that I've been putting chapter markers in the timeline and in the description box below, pardon me. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate all likes, shares, and subscribes because it helps other people find my stories. And I will put a chapter marker here because for those of you that are new to my channel and new to tarot, I do have a tarot intro. So if you want to hear it, please stick around. But if you've heard it before or just want to get to the reading, you can double tap with 2 fingers on the right hand side of your screen if you're on your phone. And if you're on a laptop or computer, you can just find the chapter markers and move right on to the reading. So, tarot and oracles are tools for self-reflection. They're only meant to help guide you when you're using your inner moral compass in pursuit of your own particular brand of happiness. I am an intuitive reader, so I know the oracles and the tarot, but you know, there's only so many cards in the deck, and I utilize my guides and my ancestors to help tell me the message that needs to be relayed. And since there are only so many cards in the deck, they will choose the closest approximation. It's up to me to translate or interpret, and it's for you to decide whether or not it resonates. You know, so you'll know if it resonates because it will be like no time. You would recognize right away. It brings a person's name, a place, an event, a memory to your mind immediately. It plucks on that heartstring. You think to yourself, wow, that happened to me last year. It's happening to me right now. Or I've been thinking about this, but I haven't told anyone, and yet here it is in the reading. That's resonating. Resonating is very immediate. You'll know it. If you have to like sit and be like, well, how would that apply, or do any sort of mental gymnastics to get to that, don't worry about it. It's probably not for you that week or that day. And that's okay. It is a collective reading. Because it's a collective reading, sometimes the energies will be one consistent message. Sometimes there'll be a different message at the beginning than there is at the end. It all depends on the energy that's coming in at the time that I'm reading. And I've seen this happen on other tarot readers channels, that people get in their comments and get all head up about, you know, whatever. You guys don't know what you're talking about. But the thing is any person who watches tarot understands going into it that it's a collective read. I mean, just by the nature of the reading being on YouTube, a public platform, with thousands of different tarot readers and thousands of different cards and thousands of different styles for interpreting and thousands of different energies. It's not a personal read. It's not a one-on-one. It is a collective read. So when we tap in, we're tapping into the strongest energies that are pushing their way forwards to be told in the cards what's going on. So, you know, just letting you know, if you're feeling like head up or triggered, you know, it's likely maybe there's like a heart pluck moment that you hadn't noticed before, and maybe just spend a little time sitting in that energy and kind of thinking to yourself, okay, out of thousands of different readers and thousands of different cards on this very public platform, why did I get upset right then? Like, sit with that and give yourself your inner world some love and some time and some understanding. But most importantly, the most important thing is that you know that you are the maestro of your own destiny. You co-create with the universe. You have full free will and full autonomy. And I believe in fate and destiny. I really do. But I believe they only take you so far. It leads you to opportunities. It offers you the chance to make decisions for yourself. It's kind of like, I've been describing it as like going to a buffet. The universe is giving you a buffet of so many different types of plates and entrees and desserts and hors d'oeuvres and snacks and all that kind of thing. But you decide what you actually eat. The universe is not forcing you to eat anything. It's giving you the opportunity to choose for yourself what you want to do so you can create the plate that you want. So what are you going to put on your plate? You know, it's like writing a story. The universe can give you a sheet of paper and a pen and say, write your story. What are you going to write? You are co-creating with the universe. So don't give your power up to a tarot reading. Understand that you are the maestro and live your life as you see fit. Okay, so let's get into the pre-shuffle. Let's see what energies... Well, I was going to say, look what the universe is thinking. And so we have... Well, not the universe is thinking. What the collective is thinking is feeling unloved and the right path. You know, I was going into this 50-50. I was like, this could be a love reading. I've been feeling it since earlier this week. And let's just see how it goes. There's a 50% chance that, again, it'll be a love reading. But this feels like it, you know. Feeling unloved and the right path. So feeling unloved is you deserve someone who can support you emotionally and love you fully. And the right path is love is a beautiful journey and you're on the right path to finding it. So, boy, you may be feeling alone. You may be saying, I'm tired of being alone. You may feel unheard, unvalidated. You feel like it's been an uphill battle. You feel like everything seems to be kind of slipping through your hands like smoke or like a shadow. But at the same time, the universe is like, you are on the right path. And there's something about recognizing that you are not where you're supposed to be. This is very strange because yesterday I had a reading similar where someone is in a situation. It may not exactly be a one-for-one translation, but someone was in a situation that they weren't, not that they weren't unhappy with it. It's not the right word, but they were in a connection that satisfied a very surface level want or need. But what they really wanted was to feel loved and to feel like they were doing the right thing for them, even if they were a little bit nervous. So I kind of feel like this is spilling over a little. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but we will continue. We'll continue down this path and see what we get. Okay. So then we have surprise, unexpectedly, another way beyond imagination. So again, we had the card feeling unloved and you're on the right path. Perhaps you didn't even realize you're on the right path yet, but something comes to pass that lets you know that you are on the right path. It may come as a surprise, like it says. There's going to be a moment where it feels like everything's kind of falling into place. That's what I'm hearing. Let's see. What else we got? Okay. Then we have new start. Yes. Okay. So collective, you've been feeling a little unloved, a little alone, a little lonely, feeling like, when am I going to be with my person? When am I going to find that person? When am I going to find my happily ever after? And the universe is like, you're on the right path. You're on the right path. You're actively walking the path right now and you don't even know it. This realization of recognizing, when can I find that person? Why can't I be with them? Why can't I find my happiness right now? Why can't it be the happily ever after already? The fact that you're asking those questions and wanting more for yourself is starting on that right path. And it may come to a surprise to you to realize that all this time, all these questions you've been asking and wanting to know how to move towards the life that you want, the person that you love, the situation that you want to grow, whatever it is, those are the first and founding steps towards what you want and a fresh start. Now, it's interesting that a fresh start is not a new beginning. You see what I'm saying? A fresh start is not the same as a new beginning. Now, in some context, for some reason, in this reading, I am hearing a fresh start is not the same as a new beginning, because it's telling me that a new beginning is born of something completely new, where a fresh starts with where a fresh start is basically, I'm seeing someone hit a big red button that says refresh, start over. What's the word? Redo. A fresh start is trying something again with someone. So let's see where this is leading us. One more and then we'll get into the reading. There we are. Oops. So we have separation. Sadness, bitterness, missing you. Okay, yes, this is confirmation. the feeling unloved, oh my goodness. Maybe this is related to the reading I did yesterday. Because again, this is a card of separation. This is feeling separated from the person that you're thinking about. You're sad, you're missing them. But we also had at the very beginning of the pre-shuffle feeling unloved. Like this energy it feels like this energy is in some sort of situation. Family, friends, coworkers, whatever. Some sort of situation that makes them feel increasingly day by day more isolated. And the fact that this energy is asking, I feel unloved. When is my time? When can I start a new life? When can I find my happily ever after? I want to find that love. Those feelings, those want for more, is indicative of you moving down the right path, of wanting change for yourself. And it may be surprising to realize that even if you haven't physically started moving towards whatever it is, or like in intention moving towards it is, the fact that you're already in that frame of mind being like, when can I find, how can I find, when will I know I will recognize a person? You already energetically are moving towards where you want to go. And it may be, like I said, surprising that you recognize that emotionally and from an energetic standpoint, you've already started moving towards where you want to be. Now, where you want to be seems like right now you're in separation from them, because again, we got that fresh start. And I heard from my guides, a fresh start is not the same as a new beginning. In this particular reading, a new beginning would mean completely new person. A fresh start is big red button, redo, restart, reload. You know what I mean? Like, let's just start again. Let's wipe the slate clean. You and I moving forward. Okay, hi, my name is so-and-so. It's like someone you already are connected to, that you're in separation to, that are in separation with, that you're missing them or they're missing you or both. You are thinking about them. You're not sure what could happen. Like it feels like you would be willing to be like, can we just start again? Can we just get to know each other all over again? Like, that's the kind of energy I'm getting. All right, let's just get into the reading right now, because again, like I said, this feels very similar to a reading that I did yesterday. And this may be like one of the readings I did several weeks ago, where it was like the same reading over and over again, because the energy was so purposeful, so driven, so very focused. There it is. All right, so let's see what we have. Whoop, that one just flew off to the side, but it says, unsure, questioning past action and current decisions. I was just saying, can we just start again? Can we just hit the refresh button? Can we just wipe the slate clean? Can we just get to know each other again? Like, this person, you or your person, is unsure whether or not that is possible. They're thinking about, why did I act that way? Why did I leave them on red? Why did I call them when I called them that time? Or why didn't I call them? Or why did I run away? Or why did I ghost them? Or why did I come on too strong? Why did I come off needy? Or whatever it is that you're questioning about yourself. And now you're thinking about your current actions. Like, what should I do now? How can I get that fresh start? It's unsure. Like, I do feel there's a little bit of like doubt there in yourself, but it's more unsure about where to go, questioning what wasn't in the past and how to kind of proceed in the future. But again, I'm seeing a big red button that's like refresh, redo, restart, reload. Well, that's a big stack of cards. That's too many. It was like 10. Okay. There. Oh. Whoa. This one is just teetering, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that down there. So we have regret. Yes, absolutely. This person, I can feel it. This person's regretting their past actions. I mean, we saw it here, but this is very, very obvious that they are regretting it. I do feel a little bit of circle thinking. And then we have fake accounts. So, take it as it resonates. But someone, I'm not going to say who because I don't know who, but someone has perhaps made like one of those, what I call gray face profiles, whether or not you're on Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, or YouTube, and you make kind of a throwaway account, or this person seems to have made a throwaway account with no personally identifying information, just so they can like see if the person that they want to be with is single, is available, is thinking about them. Is this my favorite kind of energy? No. No, it is absolutely not. But again, this person is unsure and they feel like they don't have any other way. I feel like they keep checking their messages to see if someone messaged. They've made fake accounts to see if, you know, they're happier without them or what they're doing, or at some level keeping tabs. Now, I do want to point out, I don't get an energy of this being like unsafe stalking. This makes me feel like this person feels like, I don't want to say at their wit's end, but they don't know what else to do. Like, I feel like they want that fresh new start. They want to hit that reset button to start again. But I think by making these accounts, again, not my favorite energy, really is not a fan, but they're doing this. It feels like they're doing this because they're trying to decide whether or not they should even step forward, because they're already uncertain and they don't want to step forward and then get the door slammed in their face. I'm not saying this is right, but I'm saying that's the energy that this person's in. So painting, telling a story, conveying an emotion. Telling a story really just stuck out to me. Your person may have hazel eyes or blue eyes. You or your person may have hazel eyes or blue eyes. Interesting, the telling a story part that keeps like calling my attention to it. This person, this unsure person, maybe has shared their feelings and or the story of you all to someone that they trust. Kind of like they're trying to get like a, should I call him? Should I do it? Or, look, man, I don't know what to do. Should I text her? You know what I mean? Like, it feels, and please understand when I say they're not doing this to like make you look bad. They're not relaying the story to paint themselves in a great light. If anything, I think they've likely made themselves the villain a lot of the times in the retelling of the story. But I think whoever they're telling knows that's what they do. And I feel like they're encouraging them to say something. Like, again, like, girl, just tell him how you feel. Like, stop running away from him. Why are you running away from him? Just say something. Or alternatively, look, man, just text her. Ask her out on a date. Or simply just, hey, just tell them how you feel. All of this making fake account shit, again, not my favorite energy. Not a huge fan. But rather than tiptoeing and doing all this fucking weird stuff, just talk to them. So we have union of souls. Two souls come together in perfect harmony, creating a bond that is nurturing, empowering, and this union brings a sense of completeness and shared purpose. This is what this person is like regretting. This deep regret, that deep regret that they're feeling. I'm hearing, how did I fumble this so bad? This energy, this may be one of those weeks where it's the same energy keeps popping up, and I can't understand why, or I can't tell you why. Maybe it has to do with whatever planets are in play. I'm not an astrologer. I wish. Oh, I wish I was an astrologer. I'm learning. But whatever planets are in play right now, whatever signs and moon phase is in play right now, if it's affecting you, this reading likely will make sense for you. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And the readings from this week may just particularly speak to the collective it's meant to reach, Okay, so let's get a card for this unsure card. Oops, that is too many. Okay, unsure. What do we got here? Okay, so we have create a routine. Having a routine helps limit your procrastination and give you structure. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. I feel like this is the universe stepping through right now. Over here we have unsure, questioning the past actions and current decisions, kind of being stuck in this like cycle of unsure and regret. And the universe is like, look, timetable your day. Spend some time, whether it's meditating, practicing pardon me, that was a hiccup. Practicing mindfulness. And by the way, when I hiccup, I'm channeling a specific message for a specific person or group in the collective. So just, if you feel like this is resonating, that was confirmation. Universe is saying, timetable your day. Because I do feel like with this uncertainty or this unsurety and like regret, I do feel like there's a little bit of a propensity to get a little bit like stuck in a cycle of repeating or obsessive thoughts or circle thinking. And maybe that's what leads to the making fake accounts just to see how they're doing, just to see their face again, that sort of things. It's like, you need to do all that. Just reach out to them. Like if you feel that inclined to constantly look at them and see how they're doing, to see if they're happy without you, or if you're trying to figure out a way to make amends or any of that stuff, why try to come up with all of that on your own when the person that you're trying to figure it out for is right there? You could just message them and be like, hey, I've been thinking about this, rather than trying to come up with a possibility, a plan, a conversation all in your head, just one-sided, and making a decision just based on someone's smile in a certain situation in a place that they tag themselves in, that you have decided that they're happy without you. How about, here's a crazy thought, how about talking to them? Weird, right? Maybe talking to them will get you the answers better than looking at different looks and pictures and check-ins and how often they post to interpret whether or not that they miss you. How about just fucking talking to them? But over here, the universe is like, timetable your day. Do things for yourself. Focus on yourself. Heal yourself. I'm hearing that it may be beneficial for those that it resonates to, not only just take time for meditation and mindfulness, but something about like physically exerting yourself. And I'm not saying go out there to like the gym and try to get gains, like get muscles and all that shit. But I mean like every evening or every early in the morning, depending on what you feel the most energy, go out for like a nature walk. If you live in a very urban neighborhood, go out for an early neighborhood walk. Get yourself a green tea or a coffee or something at the local place and just sit in your own energy. Be okay with your own energy. Focus on yourself, because that'll help break this circle thinking and help stabilize yourself so that you can have a conversation. Because if you're constantly circle thinking and then you decide to reach out, you're going to reach out through anxiety. Versus centering yourself and still thinking about that, but reaching out with a less intense and like pointed energy. It's where you can have a conversation that isn't filled or driven by anxiety, because you've learned to start being okay with your own energy. This is not about saying you're happy alone or you don't want to be with them, but there's something to be said about being comfortable in your own energy. Okay, so then under the regret card, we have Ascension, Spiritual Path Awakening, Union of Souls, and Spiritual Path Awakening. Oh, This right here is a dark night of the soul. This person, whether it's you or you or the person you're connected to, this level of regret, this looking at the accounts, this circle thinking, this kind of all this energy focusing on like the inner, they're questioning their past actions, their current decisions, what they should do, how they can get back in line. Dark night of the soul, because they're awakening to this. They're spiritually awake, which is why the universe is like, create a routine to be comfortable in your own energy, because you're going through a spiritual awakening. You are on your way. You are on the right path. You are on your way. The dark night of the soul is one of the hardest things to get through, to exist in, to move through when you're going through a spiritual awakening, but it is part of the process. Okay, let's look at this fake accounts thing. Again, not my favorite energy. Surprise. I heard you surprisingly find nothing. Like maybe this person has their like Facebook, their Instagram, their Blue Sky on lock. Like it's privated. You can't see anything. Like does it matter how many, or you can't see anything, they can't see anything. Take it as it resonates. But this person has their profile on lock. Only private people. It's privated, so only the people they allow to see it. And that's what makes you uncertain or unsure. But again, be good in your own energy. Start taking care of yourself. This dark night of the soul is not easy. For you, or if you're your person, it is not easy, but it is a step in the right direction to understanding what needs to be done, how to step forward towards what it is that they want, a union of souls. Again, not a great moment, and they surprisingly will likely find nothing. That's not to say, pardon me, that's not to say that their person or your person doesn't have social media, but maybe everything is privated. Maybe they're very picky about who has access to them. Under painting, we have a new opportunity. Insights gained from a new experience or partner. I honestly, because I said, telling a story. This person is telling what they're experiencing to someone that they trust. And like I said, the person that they're relaying all this to is saying the same thing that I am essentially saying, which is just talk to them. So there's something about who they're talking to now. It also could be like a medical professional. Maybe they're talking to like a counselor or a spiritual guidance person. There's something about this conversation and talking to them. They're gaining new insight about how to move forward. Oops. So the union of souls, moving on. Oh my goodness, what is with me today? So over here, the universe is trying to show you union of souls, and you think because you can't see anything on their accounts that they've just moved on. Remember how I said, rather than you making all these different accounts, or rather than your person making all these different accounts in order to interpret the symbology of what you're posting and like interpreting every glance and every check-in to determine whether or not they are still part of your life in an emotional way, or whether or not you're happy. This is what I'm talking about. It's too easy to make a fake account, or your person to make a fake account and like get on your socials to be like, oh, are they happy? Are they happy? Are they happy? And they're already in this kind of like anxiety spiral. And then to be like, oh, they must be happy. They must have moved on without me. Even though over here we have union of souls, the universe being like, yeah, this is likely coming to pass if you allow it. But if you're over here stressing yourself out, or your person stressing themselves the hell out because they can't see anything on your account, this person going through the dark night of the soul is probably one of the hardest things they've ever had to do in their life. And the fact that they can't see what's going on in your life is, honestly, it's making them a little nuts. It's making them a little nuts. It's making them think that you are just happy without them, that you're out there doing your thing, going out with the guys, having a good time, or going out with their girlfriends and meeting new people, going out with all of their friends and just moving on without you. And here's the thing. It could be very well that they're going out with their friends. That doesn't mean that they've moved on. Here's the cool part about communication. If you're able to, first, get yourself, centered within yourself. Be okay in your own energy. Because then, instead of making fake accounts, you can just talk to them and ask them those questions. And here's the rub. Some people might be like, well, what if they don't want to talk to me? Well, if you spent enough time loving yourself and doing for yourself, the fact that they don't want to talk, let's just say that's the case, which I don't think it is, but let's just say that's the case, that won't shake your world the way you think it would. It'd be a disappointment. It might make you sad. But it doesn't shake the core of who you are, because you know that you yourself on your own is worth something, is valuable. This is why the universe wants you to be strong and to have a good sense of self and self-love. Not because this person is moving on, but because if you're telling yourself the person has moved on, you're putting yourself more into this all anxiety and making this, dark night of the soul even harder. Dark night of soul is to dig deep, figure out all the shit that you've been bearing and why you do the things that you do and how you can fix the things that you want to fix and what kind of life you want for yourself. Spoiler alert, you want to be with someone that you love. Okay, so bottom of the deck, we have the right path again. Love is a beautiful journey and you are on the right path. Look, honestly, how did that, wait, hold on, what? Hold on. Bottom of the deck, I have right path. Love is beautiful journey and you're on the right path. And I turned it over and it's open again on the other side and it says mute. It means you're unwilling to have this conversation. Now I want to know why. Well, now we'll just have to ask those questions. Okay, so let me get some cards out. They are conversation cards to see if we can get an answer as to why we had the card of on the right path, but also we have the mute card. Like perhaps there's a recognition from this energy that they are in fact on the right path, but they're still tight-lipped. So we've got some conversation cards. We're going to get a couple, maybe 4 to 6, we'll see. Okay, so the first one is, I don't want to be toxic anymore. I mean, we had questioning past actions, so that makes sense. Maybe they were looking retrospectively, and recognizing that once, perhaps behaviors that they once thought were like fine, now they're like, that's not super great, and I want to change that about myself. I want to be better, not just for other people, but for myself, which is healthy. I don't want to be toxic anymore. That does feel like they're trying to do some deep healing. Oh, we have 2. So then we have, I want to be strong like you. So there's a lot of admiration for their person. And then, I can't hold back any longer. Honestly, I'm going to be real. It feels like this person is on the precipice of messaging. Maybe they've typed up a couple of messages, proofread it, left it for a minute, came back to it to look at it to see how they felt. I do feel like they're on the precipice. I let people manipulate me into... Why do I keep throwing these cards? Spirit, explain to me. All this week, they've just been flying out of my hands. I let people manipulate me into ghosting you. Again, this card back here that was like looking at past behaviors, past decisions, and holding a lot of regret over letting other people dictate what they should do with their life. Again, this may be the reason why they are currently not communicating, because they have so much going on. Like there's so much, I feel like there's a whole lot of apology. And maybe perhaps that's the other reason why that they are quiet, or why you are quiet. It's because this energy feels like there may be a lot to account for and a lot to apologize for, and it may weigh heavy on their mind. They've been thinking about it. Conversations. I miss our conversations and the sound of your voice. Oh, that one's straight from the heart. This is legitimately like I hear what they're saying. All right, and just one more. Okay, and that one fell on the floor, but it is. I can feel you. And here we go, being the last card under Union of Souls. Pardon for the airplane going by, but Union of Souls. They feel linked to you, like deeply linked to you. Collective, whether this is you or whether it's your person, this dark night of the soul and this spiritual awakening is a huge moment in this energy's life. And I do really feel like they are trying their best to kind of come to terms with the things that they want to do, the things that they've done, how they want to heal, and how they want to be better for themselves and for the eventual union with someone that they love. It may take them a little time to kind of get enough fortitude and love within self to come forward, but I do feel like this energy is going to be messaging in a relatively small amount of time. I can't see this energy waiting longer than a month and a half. Honestly, it feels that kind of close. And I know in the grand scheme of things that seems short, but for a lot of us, that seems like a long time. But let me remind you, in the grand scheme of things, a month and a half is not that long. So I hope this helped to give someone perspective to understand either their inner selves or their person. I really appreciate you being here today. It means so much to me. This is Rabbit and Moon Tarot. My name is Angel, and I will see you at the next reading.